How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. Hopefully everyone is having a swell day. Bengals entering this offseason, much like they have in previous seasons, needing some offensive line help to protect their franchise quarterback. And we are hearing the swirlings and the rumors that the Dallas Cowboys are shopping around tackle La'el Collins. Looking to trade him. It looks like their backup, the undrafted backup in steel. He's been playing really well for these Dallas Cowboys. They feel confident in this guy coming up and taking Collins' place. Plus, Collins would save the Cowboys about $10 million in cash if they were to move him. A little bit over the cap right now, the Cowboys. So it makes sense for them to want to try to move this guy if they have a viable replacement, and it could save them a little bit of money here. It's not one of those cases I think we're like, oh, why are they trying to trade this guy? Is he a problem in the locker room? Is he struggling? I don't think that's the issue here. I do think if there is one thing you look at with Collins and you're the Bengals, you worry about that injury in 2020 that kept him out for the entire season. How's that hip really feeling for him? That's the one thing you do worry about as a guy that is 30 years old now. But at the same time, all signs point to this guy finishing last season strong. And he is one of the best run blockers in all of football. I think he graded or ranked third amongst tackles last season. According to Pro Football Focus, Collins is a guy that ranked 15th among tackles last season. Now keep in mind, tackles, you got 2 on a team, that's 64. So he's 15th out of 64. He's not 15th out of 32. Mind you, had a really good season. He graded as an 82 on this season. You compare that to Jonah Williams, who graded with a 74.9, and Riley Reif, who was at a 67. So an improvement if you're a believer in the Pro Football Focus metrics. And just the fact that the Dallas Cowboys have just been a team that have always put together a stellar offensive line. You got to believe they got good pieces over there. If they're willing to move this guy, you got to jump on it, right? So from that standpoint, I say the Bengals go after it. You look at, again, you're replacing Riley Reif. Reif, who's going to be 34. And we talked about this previously. I think Reif had a solid season. But he's 34. He just came up a year where he had his first really major injury of his career. How's that ankle going to feel going into next season? You don't really know. There's a lot of question marks there. He's getting older. And, again, he had a friendly contract. What's he going to want next season? Who knows? But I like the idea of Collins here, who's under contract for a few more years, has a very team-friendly deal, and he could be a good cog to this Bengals offensive line. Now, the question becomes, what's the price you're willing to pay for this guy? First-round draft pick? No. I don't see that happening. That's too much. Second round, you have to keep in mind the Bengals have the 31st overall pick this year. So a second rounder, that's where things get spicy. More than happily would give up a third rounder for the guy. I mean, you look at the Bengals' recent draft picks in the top 3 rounds. You had Jonah Williams, good pick. You had Cedric O'Boy. You had Jake Fisher. You had Jackson Carman. Needless to say, it's been kind of hit or miss for this team. And to say you can get a guaranteed thing out of Collins for a third round or better and potentially get, 6? I would be 34. 5-6 years of service out of this guy. I think you go all in on it. You have to. This is a team, you can't put a price tag on offensive line. And what I really like about the Collins deal here is, I know there's a lot of talk about Jensen coming to the Bengals, but I just like that you're not Laramie Tunseling this guy. You went and got those Laramie Tunsil trade rumors. You got this guy, and that is a massive blow to the cap. This guy leaves you flexibility. You still have the ability, if you want to go out there, attack center, which I think they should and they need to do. But you also have the ability, if you want to try and, if there's an opportunity that presents itself, like, I loved what they did with Riley Reif last year. If you can find an opportunity like that at guard and get a guy with production like Riley Reif out of a guaranteed thing, even that's great. You have the financial flexibility to do so because you're not tying yourself down with one really big name offensive lineman. So I am all in on the La'el Collins game. Again, my number one concern, the injury. Besides that, go after this guy. He seems healthy, though. He seems ready to play. Big upgrade for the Bengals offensive line, all for the La'el Collins trade. Love to hear you guys' thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.